Hey folks, what I have in here is an 11-speed X1 cassette from SRAM. This is the 1180 cassette, and I'm going to take a quick look at it and compare it to this, which is the 1150 or the GX level 11-speed cassette. A lot of white, interesting, nicely designed. This is the rest of the group set, the X1, as you can see it here. And looking at the label, this is the CS 1180, as you can see it here, 1042 11 speed, made in Taiwan. This is the part number. Open the box, you just have a little scotch tape here, zip that off, and ta-da, here it is. SRAM only includes this, which is a warranty, stating that the warranty is 2 years. And also you have the URLs here for the few businesses that they've bought recently. You have the Quark here and the zip. And here's the cassette. It's not held in place by anything. It looks like this one wiggled around quite a bit. And here it is. Looking at the two from the distance, it's hard to tell them apart, mostly because they use the same cog spacing, same cogs, they're the same size. However, the name of the cassettes comes from the way they are designed. This one, the 1180 or the X1, is the mini cluster. It uses pins to connect the cogs, and if you look at, you can see them pretty much everywhere, all the way down to the 14th cog, because the 14, 12, and 10 cogs are machined from the one piece of steel. This is the same technology that they use for the more expensive cassettes that they have that don't use pins at all. Those are called the X-Dome. So this cassette uses pins from the 14 all the way up to the 42. 42, which is made out of aluminum, the only cog that's made of aluminum. And you can see a bit more description here. XG1150, 1042, and you can also see the pins here that keep this cassette together. Looking at the GX, look from the side, you're going to see pins going pretty much throughout. This cassette is called the full pin. It uses pins from the 10th cog, see it here, all the way to the 42. And the notable difference on this one is that the 42 is made out of steel. You can see it here, same thing, 1042, 11 speed. And again, these two have the same range and they use the same cog spacing. Today's SRAM has 5 cassettes that have this same range. I'm not considering the NX that fits a Shimano free hub. So we have the 1150, which is all steel pinned. The 1180, which is pretty much all pinned with the exception of the first 3 cogs. But this one adds the aluminum cog on the 42. They also introduced recently an 1175, which is pretty much this guy with an aluminum cog. So it's fully pinned with the aluminum cog. Then you have 1195, 1199. Those two are using what's called the X-Dome technology. So the entire cassette up to the 42 is made out of a one piece of steel, machined out of a one piece of steel, which is pretty impressive if you ask me. They do use an aluminum made 42 tooth. However, that cog is pressed onto the rest of the cassette, and because of that you can actually remove it and add one of the 1-up extenders for those cassettes. 1-up, Wolf Tooth, there's a few other manufacturers out there. So those are the only 2 cassettes that can be modified in any way. These 3, so 1150, 7580, they are what they are. 420% range, 1042. When they redesigned their 11-speed cassettes, SRAM also introduced what's called the XD driver. It is a different type of free hub that's needed to fit that 10-speed cog. You can see here the narrower end of it. That's why they couldn't integrate a locking ring anymore. So they had to redesign the whole thing. The beauty of this is that it takes the 11-speed and 12-speed Eagle, and also that the major manufacturers today of your hubs, they're going to provide you a free hub body that is an XD driver like this one is here. The other good thing to know is that these cassettes, even though they're made by SRAM, they work just fine with the Shimano shifter and derailleur, and there's actually quite a few people that use them that way. I'm going to probably do a separate video to show you guys a couple of tricks about this, but the idea is that the little splines here at the bottom engage the cassette, and the cassette is held in place by this, you see the threaded area over here. To install these cassettes, all you need is a cassette tool. It fits onto the cassette just like it would with a locking ring for Shimano, for example. It's no different than that. And even though the 40 Newton meters are not mentioned anywhere here on the surface, these cassettes and the XD driver require the same amount of torque to tighten them up. On the scale, 1150 is 393 grams. 1180 is 314. 1175 is 325, and then 95 and 99 cassettes are 265 to 270 grams, so about 50 grams lighter than this. Compare them with what Shimano has to offer, and this is an 1142 at around 440 grams. 1146 is about 465 grams, so you're adding pretty much 200 grams to the lightest ones that SRAM has to offer. And that's pretty much it, folks. If you have any questions, let me know in the section below. You can click on that nice icon on the screen to subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I'll see you on the trails. Cheers.